Hey guys, Jeremy here with Simple Little Life. Welcome to another edition of Tool Time. Wait a minute, it's not Tuesday, it's Monday. It's also the first day of spring, and it's the very first video on this channel dedicated entirely to viewers' knives. All these knives we're going to take a look at are knives that you, the viewers, have sent in to me, and I really appreciate it. One of the reasons I love viewer knives is because it kind of shows, first of all, what you guys are doing and a sense of pride that you guys take in your work. Also, even for me personally, I learn a lot by seeing the way that you've approached your knife making process. Making a knife, there's so many different ways you can go about it, and the way that I do it is completely different than the way other people learn to do it. And you know, I'm learning a lot from seeing how you guys are approaching knife making and the tips that you guys are sharing. So I just think it really helps this entire community of knife makers. So for all those of you who are into making knives, these pictures represent the fact that you're taking your hands, you're taking material, and you're actually doing something, you're making something. So absolutely fantastic. I love these viewer knives. Okay, the first knife we're going to take a look at is sent to me from Aaron, and Aaron is from Ontario, Canada, and he sent this knife in saying this was the very first, definitely not his last knife that he's ever made. He said making this knife with only files and sandpaper was the most fun things he's ever done, and he's hooked. So awesome job. Thank you so much for sending this in, Aaron. Really fantastic knife. The next knife, Chris. Now Chris doesn't say too much about this knife or where he's from, but he just says, you know what, he really appreciates the videos. They've inspired him to make a knife. That's what this is all about. These knives are inspiring other makers too. So you guys sending your knives into me to feature on this channel, it's doing the world of good, and people are starting to make knives that maybe otherwise wouldn't have. That's a success. So excellent looking knife, Chris. Good job. I really like the wood grain on this blade here. Really nice looking knife. Keep it up. The next knife that we're going to take a look at is from Carlos, and he's from Portugal, and he sent a picture of his first two knives, and what great looking blades. So the wood handled one he did with the file guide method, so all by hand with a file to get the bevels on there, and the other one, the one with the G10 textured handle, he did with a 6x72 woodworking belt grinder. So that's pretty cool. Really excellent looking blades here. I like how you did the little relief on the handle there with the lanyard hole. Great looking blade. Thank you, Carlos, for sending it in. Fantastic work. The next knife we're gonna look at is sent to us from Jimmy, and Jimmy is from Denmark, and he actually sent a series of build pictures, which is awesome. You kind of see a little bit more of his process here. So let's take a look at these blades. 01 tool steel, 5mm, made them from scratch. You can see, cut them out with a hacksaw. Used the file guide method to put the bevels on. Really clean looking bevels there, really fantastic. And you notice on this one here with this Wharncliffe blade, what a lot of work to hollow out that handle like that. But man, so worth it. You can see his nice little forge. I'm assuming that he made it himself. And paracord wrapped handles. Look at these three blades. They look absolutely fantastic. Excellent work, Jimmy. Be proud of these knives. They look so cool. I really like them. Next knife we're going to take a look at are sent to us from Emil, and these he did with Damascus steel, which look absolutely fantastic. This first one, what a beautiful chef's knife there. Like, I guarantee anybody would be so proud to have that in their kitchen. And this other one looks like a great utility blade. Even could second as like a kitchen type knife and also a field knife. Really nice brass bolster on there. Love the wood. Excellent. Thank you so much for sending those in, Emil. Fantastic. The next knives we're going to take a look at are sent to us from Chad, and Chad is from Washington State. He sent these pictures of these great looking blades. I really like the detail that he's put into his handles using the multi-segmented handle material there. Extra lot of work, extra bit of passion into his blades. Brass liners on the one. It looks like he's got a black, maybe a G10 liner or something on the other. Beautiful tapered tang, and this file work that acts as a jimping, thumb jimping. Really great looking blades. CK knives, yeah, thanks so much, Chad, for sending those in to us. Much appreciated. The next knife we're going to take a look at is sent to us from Gabe. Now Gabe doesn't say where he's from, doesn't give too much information about the materials he used, but once you take a look at this blade, it kind of speaks for itself. Not entirely sure what the blade material is, but what a beautiful shape to it. Really nice bevels there, nice satin finish on it, and then just look at all this incredible detail work he did with copper bolsters and spacers and liners, copper pins in an antler handle. Wow, what a fantastic looking blade. I really like the end cap there. Probably he used that to cover up the fastener to attach the tang. 30-06 shell, like bottom of a casing there. Really nice touch. Clearly just a really beautiful, beautiful hunting knife. Very well done. Thank you, Gabe, for sending that in. That's a fantastic looking blade. The next knife we'll take a look at is from Lucas, and he's been making knives for over a year, and he really appreciates YouTube videos that are out there, teaching him different techniques and different areas you can brush up on in knife making. And with this knife, he wanted to try a couple of different things. One thing I really like is that finger hole right there in the blade portion. Really looks like you get a great purchase on that knife. Really nice looking little shape to this blade. G10 handle scales, it's 01 tool steel. He's got mosaic pins there, and the one thing he tried that he'd never done before is gun bluing to darken the blade as a treatment for the blade. Really happy with the way it turned out, and I'd have to agree agree with him 100%. That looks fantastic. Very great looking knife, Lucas. Thank you for sending that in. Alright, now Riley from Michigan sent us a picture of this knife. He's a 14-year-old knife maker, and he ended up making this from an old painter's knife, which he mentions isn't necessarily ideal because it's a mild steel. But again, you know what? Get into it. He's making this knife. What a great looking knife he's made here. Really cool looking dagger. Double beveled on there. Fantastic work, Lucas. You know, when I see 14-year-olds making knives like this, it just kind of makes you wonder, like, how amazing are their knives going to be after they've had a few more years, you know, after they keep on going. I never started making knives till I was like into my 30s, and to see these young kids making these knives at like half of my age, man, like these here are the knife makers of the future, and it is so cool to see. Excellent work, Lucas. Thank you for sending that picture into us. Next pictures we're going to take a look at were sent to us from Ido, and he is 13 years old from Israel. And he sent these pictures of these knives he'd made, and really cool looking blades. He's got one really nice karambit there, and it looks like it's actually got a gut hook on the one side of it. And then he's also got these machetes and really cool looking knives. Fantastic work there. He also said he really enjoys the videos, and he would like me to do a video of a large knife or a machete. Maybe I'll have to get to that. Thank you for sending in your pictures, Ido. Very good work. That's awesome. 13 years old, making knives. Well done. Dan from Vancouver Island sent a picture of this knife he made. This is a kitchen style knife, a chef's knife, a really great looking blade. 1095 steel he used for it. For the handle, he used a Saga orange handle with purple heart bolster. Really nice combination. They're very classy. And it's also his first veggie tanned leather sheath that he'd made for it. Really great looking knife. Sheath, what a beautiful combination. Fantastic execution there. Great work, Dan. Thank you for sending that in. Cheers. Ellie Handmade Knives from Germany sent an email. He's 14 years old, made this knife, really great looking blade. He used the grinder, I'm assuming, in the background there. He doesn't give too much information on the blade, but really nice blade shape there, like the handle profile. And he's saving up his money to buy a nice belt grinder, and he's hoping to sell some of his knives to help out raise those funds. So great way to do it. Thank you so much for sending your pictures in. They look fantastic. Nick over at Nick's Knives, hashtag Nick's Knives. He sent some pictures. He's a 20-year-old from Muskogee, Oklahoma, and he's been making knives for about a year and a half, and he's starting to sell some of his knives, so that is awesome. It all starts as a hobby, and then you know, part of the reason you start to sell your knives is because you end up loving knife making so much, and you make so many knives that what do you do with them? You just can't have hundreds of knives laying around, so start selling them, use that funds to buy other knife making equipment and materials. It's fantastic. So check out some of these blades he's done. These first two here, the orange and the green handled, really nice looking blades. I really like the profile on them. The finish is just fantastic. He's got his maker's mark put on there. This next one with this green, toxic green swirl handles, really great looking blade. I like that nice belly. That would be a fantastic carry out in the bush. And this last one here with this textured G10 handle material that he's done, and the hammer marked steel that he's used. Two bevels on there. What a fantastic looking blade. Very nicely done, very well photographed. Nick, thanks for sending in your knife pictures. Don sent me a picture of this knife he made. Really fantastic looking blade. Nice size. Really like the beautiful satin finish on it. These handle scales look fantastic. And I know I've seen this knife on Instagram, so thank you for sending it to me in email form, Don. Really great looking blade. Alright, we're going to wrap up this viewer knife video with one more blade to take a look at. This is sent to us from a 15-year-old Amadeus from Germany, and this is the very first knife he made. The steel that he used is actually an 80CR V2, and a really nice steel to use for your very first blade. The scales are American walnut, and I really like how he used tubes for the pins. Really great looking blade. I like the size of this knife. The thumb jimpening on the spine, just fantastic, well executed. And you know, this looks like just a fantastic knife to take into the bush with you on a camping trip. It's like a one tool knife. You have this knife and it looks after you for everything you need to do out in the bush. So very nicely done, Amadeus. Thank you for sending this picture into us. Just huge thumbs up to everybody who's making knives. Thanks for watching, guys. Cheers. Support your local knife maker.